here we go, Cam Coker. It is 2:30 in the morning. Just got back. Get off to a decent, better than decent hole shot here. I'm happy with it. Seegers and I, shit, I was having issues with the quad. I took the quad through tech inspection Friday night, and I parked the quad and it rained, and we are deducing that water got into the what the hell is solenoid? Not solenoid. Yeah, solenoid in the back. So Varndell and Seegers came over to my trailer, started messing with the switch, and turns out it was a solenoid. If we tapped the solenoid with a little hammer or a screwdriver, solenoid would start. Went through a whole rigmarole or whatever. We went through a lot to fucking figure it out. That's why if you watch, I noticed like while I was editing it, like my screen's not on. So this quad's getting a little long in the tooth. I'm gonna need a new one pretty soon. So we're gonna go through it, replace the solenoid, probably replace the power steering as well. See what we can do to help out with the power steering. I'm off to a slow start here. Not really sure why. With Coker, you can end your day pretty fast with the way that these trees are, especially if you blow out a berm. But pretty soon here, I figure out that the quad's running great. The quad's stopping great, and everything's dialed in. And it turns out that this is probably the best race I've ever had. I had a lot of bad luck in this race. So first and foremost, I'm sorry that the angle of the camera has been so bad.
You're right.
So I stopped to see if he's okay. He's all right. Sorry about the angle of the camera. The mount for my GoPro is broken, and if you stay to the end of the video, you'll see that you'll get phenomenal views of my crotch right towards the end. So I need a new GoPro mount. Since my GoPro mount is hooked to my SIP tube, which is completely legal. It got hit with a stick. It was already broken. I didn't have time to screw with it this morning because the quad wasn't starting. And I only get about 30 minutes of this race, which is a shame because my second lap was my best lap. By day, I was in second. Gaining on first, hit a bottleneck. Then I was in second, and this dude's quad died right in front of me. And I pushed him probably a quarter of a mile to a half a mile, and he decided that he liked the spot instead of waiting for me to push him to a point where, he could like easily pull over. And he hooked the left, and the quad went sideways, and I lost the 47-second lead I had on third. Third passed me, and then fourth caught me. So I had to put the hammer down and race with fourth at the very end because the lead that I had built up with my energy was depleted, and I had a drag race the entire end of the race, even though I had, 2 or 3 minutes on these guys. The bottlenecks, sport quad guys, like, if you can't lift your quad up, I'm a 45-year-old dude, and, it's to a point where if don't go out there unless you can lift your quad up, man. Seriously, like, it's they like sport quad dudes just you're like, well, they just sit there and they're like, oh well, my quad's broken. There's the end, And then what kills me is they say that 4x4s are expensive, but all the sport quad guys, all they do is fix their quads. Anyway, yeah. So I'm just a little frustrated. I had a good day going. I would have got a second, maybe even a win, and So Josh said that the guy in front of me here on Ryan Zen's former Outlander and Christopher Riggins' former Outlander, and he said he was hitting the kill switch over and over again. I think this is his first GNCC on that thing. The track was prime. It had rained Friday. It was drizzling, as you can see on the camera. But it wasn't dusty. The track kind of held together until the final lap. Another thing that held me back during this race is, well, if anybody who continually watches my race, I should have went to the left there, just went around them. But if anybody watches my videos, you can see that I've picked up what I would consider a significant amount of speed this year. Kind of got everything going the right way. But the track was just I was finding the limits of my suspension on the third and fourth lap, which is a good thing, right? So I knew as I was bottoming out that it's time for me to get to the clickers and springs, and because I'm going significantly faster. The next GNCC will be the real test to see what I can do. I'll probably over the break have like a suspension day and adjust the suspension. I'm also wearing Mafia mitts here. As you can see, my hands are disappearing into the mitts. The mitts are covered. So if you want a set of these, Adam McGill's, I think it's his mom, Clara McGill on Facebook, she makes the Mafia mitts. Big upgrade. You can see, because I'm wearing my Spider-Man outfit here. I got to give a shout out to Liat. I've been trying different sets of gears and different helmets this year. Their helmets are not comfortable, but man, their gear is. It's the most comfortable riding gear I've ever had. It's pricey, but I think you get what you pay for. Also, my other gear that I've had from other companies, if I had a race in Florida, or if I raced D6 in Pennsylvania in the coal, what do they call that, like coal dust, whatever, it would ruin my gear. None of my gear, even through all the muddy races and the black sand in Florida, hasn't stained my gear, which is insane. Because I've had to throw out. Usually when I race in Florida, I throw out my gear that's I wear a set of gear from the year before and then just throw it out. But anyway, back to the track. So the other thing too is the 100%. I cannot remember what the hell they're called. These goggle companies come up with these stupid names. Anyway, there's a new 100% goggles out, and I'm a fan of them. They take a beating. They're a little pricey, but again, you get what you pay for, and they take a beating. So the layout of the track is pretty good. You can't see it here, but on these corners, the ruts would hold you, and you'd get the quad on 2 wheels. What else happened here? Besides the bottlenecks, I have no complaints about this race whatsoever. I'm sorry about the camera, because I would have kept all 4 laps in. Again, the GoPro 12, if you have a GoPro and you are trying to get your entire race on your GoPro, the GoPro 12 will record 3 hours. Especially in like warmer conditions. It was a little cold this morning when we got up, and it heated up by the end. Coker's one of the few facilities that we race on that still has field sections. The other one that comes to mind is the Buckwheat. It's another really, really fun track. But I remember this from my first race. By the way, this is now, I think this is my 6th year racing, because I started GNCC at Camp Coker. So if you really, if you want to see where I came from till now, go ahead and watch that video if you have the patience. It's from 2000, I think, 17. Oh, my scrambler. So this part of the track was fun right here. It flowed really well, and it didn't beat you up too much, and you can see ahead of you. You can see ahead, so as long as you don't stare at the ground, you can really get some good speed up in here. Also, if you notice, I'm moving pretty good because the 4x4 senior guys haven't caught me yet. So I think that's about to change. I think Varndell is going to be coming up on me here in a minute. Varndell goes on and win 4x4 senior for the day. I'll be doing his video next. One of the things also from this race today was I gassed myself trying to keep up with the leader. The one guy made that comment about me saying and I've been trying to stop it, but it's tough because I'm doing this on the fly. I gassed myself keeping up with the leader. I should have paced myself better, but that's really for anybody who's in C class. Not that I'm that much farther ahead in B class, and I shouldn't really probably be giving any sort of advice at all. Is if you want to get faster, you have to chase guys that are quicker than you, and you have to kind of get your teeth kicked in for a little bit. Eat some humble pie. Last year I podiumed, I think here, so I got a 3rd as well. Out of blind luck, but I earned this one. but I've only been able to get fast. All right, so here's Vorndell, former 4x4 Pro, and here's me trying to keep up with them. So let's see. Started at like 15:28 there. I can still see him. Let's see how long it takes. How long I can hang with him. Because I can see him, as long as I can see him in the woods. So this is kind of like what I'm trying to, the point I'm trying to make is me, I don't know about anybody else, but it's not really my PT that's the problem. It's me not knowing how hard I can hit shit. I don't really know, you know, what to hit, how hard to hit it, stuff like that. So, yeah, I kept up with him for about a minute before he disappeared. But when you ride with somebody that is that fast, you can kind of see how their quad reacts, and then kind of adjust from there. I don't know why I'm giving people advice. I'm terrible. But I mean, to me it feels like just yesterday I started doing this, so maybe that's it. I like to help people. This was fun right here. It kind of makes you feel like you know, that scene in Star Wars. There's another part of the track that's kind of like that too. I can tell you that at this track, if you pick a bad line, it's really going to slow you down. So, I mean, this guy's clearly faster than me. I'm waiting for him to... Kind of had to go slower through that section than I wanted to, waiting for him. These fire roads are fun. I think I got the 68, I think was the record. Now, the other thing about today is that all the 4x4 Pro dudes, they broke. Brandon broke, Brandon Frazier broke, Cody Collier broke, I think Caden Wharf broke, and Mickelson. I think the top guys like broke, and I didn't get passed by the pros today, so that's a first. And I was, I think, 80th overall, which again, I'll take that because it was a sport quad track, because the sport quad guys, they were moving today. I missed the part I wanted to talk about. Anyway, that the dude who just passed me, he kind of scoots his ass around in the tight stuff, and that's kind of something that either I don't possess the skill to do on a 4x4. I can barely turn in field sections. So this is kind of the Widowmaker part of this track. I know I'm in second at this point, and I'm trying to catch first. I also know from experience that this part of the track is where people eat shit hard. So I don't want to do anything dumb here, but I'm trying to go through it as fast as possible. This got really whooped out by the end. I did a little riding here off season, and with the training that we did sent us through that stuff. Then I saw a couple kids wrap their quads around those trees there. So right now, Reagan and Travis Fleming are coming up. Also, alright, I got something to bitch about. You guys like when I bitch? I want to petition GNCC to make us put our colors for our helmets on the front of our quads, because this is a good line by Travis here too. Alright, so before I get into bitching, these two dudes are much faster than me. Reagan, I've known Reagan for 5-6 years now. Reagan is the best kept secret in GNCC. Reagan's one of those like dark horse dudes. One that probably could race 4x4 Pro. But he blew out his shock. This is probably why I'm being able to keep up with him, is he blew out his shocks earlier in the race. Alright, back to me complaining. So Travis was racing in the afternoon in some sort of B class, and Reagan's an A class rider, former 4x4B champion. You know, he's won a bunch of races, so he wasn't having a great day. But I'm taking being able to keep up with him and Travis here. The camera's looking like it's making it look like they're farther away than they are, so I stay with them, even though like I'm not like this close to them, all the way to the end, to the end of the lap. I'd like for GNCC to like force us to have colored number plates on the front, because I can't tell who's in my class and who's not on a 4x4. And only the pros have the horns. Now I know Reagan's and Travis's quad, because I've known him for 100 years. So Reagan has the Georgia Bulldogs theme on his quad, and then Travis has the best one ever with the Pontiac Firebird, like the bandit colors on the front. It's probably one of the most creative things I've seen on a quad. Travis is a big LS guy. By the way, in case you guys didn't know, my name's Philly, LS1, not Phyllis, which I get sometimes, which is fine, but Philly is where I'm from, and LS1's the best engine ever made. So Travis and I bond over tuning and working on LS1s. So he's a Pontiac guy, and I think he drives a positive displacement boosted truck. I don't know how the fuck I got on this. Anyway, so it looks like they're going here, but they're not. They're right around this bend. There you go, right there. So they're putting distance on me, but not that much. I raced most of today in normal mode instead of sport mode. That is some advice that I got from Rick Checo and Landon Wolfendorf. This was sketchy right here. Boop. Yeah, that wasn't that. Now the camera ain't showing you how close I came to eating shit. Hard on the brakes here, blow out the berm. That's the problem with being fat, guys. I'm telling you, it's a little man's game with these quads. You turn yourself into a Hellcat instead of a Miata, you know what I mean? So, So right here, I'll have to tell you about this, since you're not going to see another one because the camera gets ripped off my face. But so right here, me and Travis Mosley, who's in my class, he's got an 800. We're drag racing through here, and right around here is where we come across this girl, and she won't move. She won't point us or point me because I was ahead. and to move. And there was a part right here where she can kind of pull over. So we go through this mud pit, and I know she's going to take low because that's where the it's easier to get through. And I guess she just kind of stopped, and Travis absolutely, like, I don't know, I don't think he wrecked his quad, but from the damage I saw afterwards, it was a pretty rough hit. But at this point I looked back and Travis wasn't there, because I was worried about this part of the track, because I had to really kind of slow down here because of my turning radius. I've had trouble with my power steering since I got the quad. It wasn't so much a problem on my 850 as it has been on my 1000. But anyway, like, I mean, my only complaint about the track is this finishing part right here. There's this, I guess they call it a chicane, and they keep doing that at every race. I guess it's to slow people down as they come through the gate, the timing gate. But it gets, I don't know, it gets kind of chewed up, and like right here, see how it's all chewed up, it's rooted up and stuff already, and then you kind of have to make a hard left. Like, I don't know, maybe the sport quad guys have an easier time with it, but my quad don't like stuff like that. It kind of rides outside the rut. So I go through here, I'm in second, and I'm like 30 seconds behind first. And I'm like, well, I can make up 30 seconds. So kind of start rolling through here. Now me and my daughter walked this right here yesterday, and I got kind of sketched out about blowing through here at full speed, because on either side of that runaway thing, there's swampland, and you can kind of go into the soup there. So you can see the track starting to go away even on the second lap. Luckily it wasn't that hot. Usually it's pretty hot when we race here. I think that's about all I got for this. You'll see me come up to a bottleneck. I go around the bottleneck, and it rips my camera off my face, revealing my crotch. Yep, that's all I got. I can't think of anything else. So, thanks for all the support. I think I can win one this year. Maybe not, but I'm gonna try. Got a couple things to work on, some expensive things, and then we'll kind of go from there. So, alright, thank you everybody. I'll talk to you later. Stay safe, and thank you for all the support.